Right, here's me again. What's up? So this time I went to Korea. I didn't like it. That might be a little controversial with some people, but I just couldn't get into it. I just didn't like it. I think there's a couple of reasons behind it, and I want to talk about that in this video. So there, first of all, I mean, I just just to clarify, I have nothing against South Korea. I actually enjoy a lot of their games. That sounds stupid. Wait, let me rephrase that. So I traveled from Japan to Korea, and I was just like, oh, I have 3 days off. I never been to another Asian country, just Japan, right? Because I live here. I thought, oh, you know what? I enjoy Korean games. I'm a K-pop enjoyer. I wouldn't say I'm like a big fan of it. I think I like their what little I know about their culture and their food sounds interesting. So I thought, oh, it's like a 2-hour flight from Japan. Sure, why not, right? So I went there. I went with my girlfriend. She also was. She was like, "Oh well, I mean, sure, let's go. It's really close. Why not, right?" The plane tickets were cheap as hell. They were so cheap because we bought them like 2 months in advance, basically. So it was actually very cheap, even though it was December. Yeah, we just couldn't get into it. I really don't know what it is, but I think man, I'm not sure. Like, I think it's just because I kept comparing it to Japan that might have been my problem. Because I know it's my problem. I know it's an issue that I have. It's nothing about Korea. It's not the country. It's obviously me, right? Because you like, for instance, whenever I came to Japan, I'm really interested in Japanese culture and anime, manga, video games. I obviously will like Japan, right? Because that's basically like where all that stuff is created. So of course I would enjoy it. Then again, with Korea, I mean, I played Pump It Up. That's a Korean game. I didn't see a single arcade in Korea, which was weird, by the way. Oh, I should mention, I only went to Seoul, and I went to Seoul for like 3 days. So not even that. It's like 2 days and a half, because half of the day was spent in the goddamn airport. So yeah, I I feel bad, man. I thought I was gonna like it. I mean, the highlight of my trip was going to LOL Park, League of Legends Park. Yeah. To enjoy South Korea, you probably need to enjoy nightlife, or at least be able to, or at least be open to and try it. I'm not much of a person who goes out, drink and smoke and dance. No, I'm more like, oh, I stay at home, I play some games, I probably read something, I study. I study. I'm not much of a like big party person, right? So I don't know if Korea is like that. I mean, I was just there for 2 or 3 days. I'm just giving you my first impressions on it, right? But yeah, I don't know. I really wanted to like it. I actually gave it the benefit of the doubt for like a day and a half. I was like, no. We're just in like really bad part of Seoul. This is probably, let's find something cool. And we actually found some stuff, like there were these massive temples, very open spaces. That's really cool. We saw like there was this Korean guy who was clearly learning Spanish, and he heard us talk, and he was like, Mexico.
Gracias. Adiós.
Right? Because it was really fun. But that's another thing, though. The people. That guy was clearly just the minority. We found that most people in South Korea, are really rude. Probably the people in Seoul. I cannot say Korea. I'm just talking about people in Seoul that we, interacted with. Especially the service, the customer service wasn't really good. Again, coming from Japan, a country where customer service is top notch wherever you go. There was this other guy in a convenience store just on his phone, waiting for us to pay, and he was like, he was just ignoring us. I thought it was really rude. I don't know, man. So I've probably been too pampered by the Japanese at this point that I just think every person is rude. Because now I think, and my girlfriend thinks so as well, that whenever we go back to Mexico, we're gonna be like well, you know what? In Japan, they don't do this stuff. And yeah, I think she might be right. Because that's exactly what I did when I was in London, when I came back. And I probably still do it to this day. I thought, a lot of people here are so rude. Oh, people are so weird in Mexico. But obviously, I was living in London for a year. I obviously got used to people in London, right? And yeah, I mean, I think traveling and living abroad ruins some stuff for you eventually. Like how it's just like how London ruined chocolate for me in Mexico. Like, I cannot eat chocolate in Mexico because it sucks. I'm sorry, guys. It just does. I'm talking about like store-bought chocolate. It's just really bad. It sucks. It's so the only thing they sell in bars is goddamn Hershey's. I'm tired of that shit. So yeah, and and in Japan, I mean, chocolate is not much better, to be honest with you. It is not, but I mean, the chocolate in London was top notch. So I enjoyed it a lot, and now I cannot eat it in Mexico anymore. That sucks. It helped with my diet though. So I think the same happened now in Korea. I've been so pampered and taken care of by the Japanese that whenever I went to Korea, and I was expecting the same. That was probably my that was a problem with me, right? I don't know. I just didn't like it. I thought, oh, that's really rude, and I was, yeah. I mean, I have nothing against South Koreans. The city is basically New York, Seoul. It reminded me of New York. I guess not only like the rude people, but the actual infrastructure of the city was like very similar to New York in some aspects. I don't know, like I really wanted to like South Korea, but I just didn't. I really wanted to the food, like the food. I didn't like it at all. And I was the one, my girlfriend was like, I hate this. I don't like this. This is really bad for me. She obviously didn't like it, right? But I was like, oh, just mix it with this. It should be okay. I was trying so hard to like Korean food, but I just didn't. Not a single thing. The only thing we kind of like was the chicken. I'll put the name here. I can't remember the name right. Dakiban. I can't remember. It was like basically chicken with vegetables. I mean, yay. Again, I mean, it was basically chicken, vegetables, and it was served in like a big pan. It was really good, but I mean, how Korean is this for me? Because I had chicken with vegetables before in Mexico, and it tasted almost the same. So I guess the sauce is different, but yeah, it's not my. I'm not. I'm not crazy to go back to taste the food, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I have so much love for Japanese and the Japanese language. I've been learning this language for 10 months now. So obviously I'm more involved with. I know the culture a little more. I have always enjoyed Japanese. I like the sound of it too. With Korean, because I can see some people enjoying Korea because they like, for example, if you like K-pop, sure, like Seoul is a place to go. There's a bunch of like K-pop stuff. There's a whole street dedicated to it, right? But if you don't, like me, and you're just there visiting, there's really, I mean, I don't know, because I don't want to offend anyone. I just like on the cultural side, I know nothing. So I think it's really important before you go to a country you know nothing about. You should probably learn something about it before you go. I don't think it's good, like me, to just go like blind. I thought it was gonna be fine. I thought it was gonna be fun and cool. It really isn't, because you're like, I don't get it. I don't like this, but there might be a reason why it's that way, and you don't know. For instance, like in Japan, like if you walk on the street and you don't see a single bin like to throw your trash in, you probably see one every 20 blocks or something. And that might annoy you until you realize, oh, well, the Japanese don't tend to like eat on the street, and they recycle a lot, and you're not supposed to be eating while you walk. Also, you can do it. I have seen plenty of people doing that. They put away their trash in their bags and they probably wait until they get home. So if you know this, if you're more culturally aware, you know, it doesn't suck as much because you kind of get it. Whereas my experience in Korea, well, I just didn't get it. So hopefully this didn't offend anyone. I just hope like people understand that I wasn't a big fan of Korea. I just thought, let's go on a blind date with a country, and it turned out badly. I know some people might hate Mexico because they went and they had a bad experience, and I totally understand that, right? Some people might hate Japan. So now I think I'm more empathetic to those people that once told me, oh, Japan sucks, man. Why are you going there? I was like, why are you crazy? Why would you say that? They probably came to Japan thinking it was going to be one way when it turned out the other way, or they probably came here knowing nothing, so they couldn't get into it, they couldn't get it, and I think that's what happened to me in South Korea. But anyway, what do you think? What do you think I should have done better? What did I do wrong? Probably it was too little... or might be the time. I mean, I was there for only 2.5 days, so that might be the time. I mean, it was a really time-constrained visit. So please, do let me know in the comments. Thank you. Oh, I just hit myself. That's karma. Anyway, that's enough of me. Bye-bye.